Hello, friends. I had a lovely education. I can't really complain. I went to a nice state school in England until about the age of 12, and then transferred to a private school from 12 to 18. Very lucky. However, something went wrong. Something failed. I came out of high school, barely graduating, and absolutely sick to death of education. I took a year off and worked in construction. After several months, I realized I missed something, but I wasn't sure what. I went back to university for 4 years. And around the third year, I realized I was absolutely sick to death of education once again. I'm 37 now, many years later, and having spoke to a lot of people over the years, I realize I'm not alone with that experience. Most people come out of their schools and their colleges and their universities sick to death of the torture they were put through. And many feel a lot that they learned hasn't really helped them in their day-to-day lives. So we know something has gone wrong. There's some failure in our education system, but I think we can fix it. After graduating university, it took me about 6 years to become intellectually curious again. So what went wrong? Well, there are some great books that can tell us, such as Weapons of Mass Instruction by John Taylor Gatto, Prepared by Diane Taverner. What kind of person is the educational system designed to produce? Is it designed to produce free thinking, intelligent, intellectual people? Or is it designed to produce good factory workers, obedient employees, easily manipulated consumers? These are some of the questions I think we'll talk some more about on the channel later on. So what do I think the solution is? What would I tell my younger self? It's pretty simple. Read. You will be the same person in 5 years as you are today, except for the people you meet and the books you read. I've always loved that quote by Charlie Jones. And every year I love it more. The feeling you get when you find a book that really blows your mind. There's just nothing like it. About 6 years ago, in 2018, after being inspired by podcasts like Tim Ferriss and Joe Rogan, I downloaded Audible and started to explore my love of learning once again. 6 years later, I have 177 titles on my account, and that works out to about 29 books a year. I haven't read all of those books. I'm sure many of them I haven't finished. But let's say a good average of about 20 audiobooks finished per year. This experience really woke me up to what I'd been missing. And I wish I'd started much earlier. To read is to fly. It is to soar to a point of vantage which gives a view over wide terrains of history, human variety, ideas, shared experience, and the fruits of many inquiries. Fruits of many inquiries. I like the sound of that. To be honest, I'm becoming more and more unsatisfied with the modern world. So much mindless content, the TikToks, the shorts. I really feel as time goes on, I need to ditch the phone, get away from the technology, and spend time cultivating my intellect, feeding the brain. So where should we start reading? I've got most of my book recommendations over the last years from podcasts, interviews with authors, book recommendations from friends or inspiring people. And more, I keep hearing admirable people mention old classic works of literature. But sometimes I suspect a lot of the modern works of literature that we see promoted on the podcast circuit seem to have ideas recycled from perhaps older, perhaps better, perhaps more interesting, more valuable works of literature. I'm sure the old ways have a lot of value and are worth looking into. Today we seem to be stuck in a race to the bottom. How cheap can we make it? How short? How sexualized? How marketable? I came to realize I needed to start reading some classical books. I'd heard mentioned again and again the great books of the Western world and the Harvard Classics series. After looking into both of these, I realized that the great books of the Western world was more of an encyclopedic set, and the Harvard Classics set was more of a curated set designed to provide someone a near complete liberal education. Dr. Charles Eliot was the president of Harvard University for 40 years and put together this set, this curated list of great works of literature, in the year 1909. He stated, "A great mind needs acquaintance with a prodigious store of recorded discoveries, experiences, and reflections which humanity in its intermittent and irregular progress from barbarism to civilization has acquired and Laid Up. Reading about this set really piqued my interest. So my friends, what do I think we should do? Let's start a book club. Let's work our way through the 50 volumes of the Harvard Classics, as well as any other books that tickle our fancy. Let's participate in the great conversation spanning thousands of years with some of history's greatest minds. This process is going to be interactive. I'd love for you guys to suggest which books you'd like us to cover, which books have helped you on a journey, and anything you think would help others on theirs. What's my hope for this channel? I'd like us to read more. I'd like us to talk more about the things we learn. I'd like us to serve as an inspiration for younger people, anyone that's interested in reading more and developing their intellect. So with that said, welcome to the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.